Colorado High School Activities Association baseball is on B106 and B106.com. This morning from Palisade High School in Palisade, it is the opening round of district play as the Fort Morgan Mustangs will take on the Pueblo East Eagles, here in Palisade. Good morning, everybody. Brian Nickel with Eric Nickel here to bring you the action here today. If the Mustangs win game one here, they will play the championship game at 3 o'clock. Fort Morgan and Pueblo East will play here at 10. And then Palisade and Evergreen will play at 12:30 to determine the other person or the other team that goes to the double elimination tournament next weekend. The have 8 districts around the state and 4 teams at each district, so they have 32 teams in the playoffs to start with. They will get that down to just 8 teams after today, with the different districts, each district sending 1 team. Pueblo East comes in 13-6. They were first in the Carl 7 League tournament as they defeated Conifer last week 14-4 in the championship game. Conifer also in the tournament, as well as Weld Central also in a district in 3A, as it was a 4A, 3A Colorado 7 League this year, and Weld Central the only 3A participant going to the tournament. So Pueblo East comes in, as I said, third in the South Central League. There you go. Total batting average of the team is at .351. With 5 home runs, 29 stolen bases. Their ERA is at 3.05. For Fort Morgan, their batting average .346 as a team, 13 home runs, 54 stolen bases, and a 3.19 ERA for the pitching staff, as they are introducing starters, I believe, now for each team. Beautiful day here over at Palisade. A little breezy out of the south. I think it might have died down a little bit already, but we're going to go to a break and then be back with the starting lineups on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel, Eric Nickel back here at Palisade High School as the Fort Morgan Mustangs get ready to take on the Pueblo East Eagles. Pueblo East and Fort Morgan have a little bit of history, not necessarily on the baseball field, but on the football field. As a couple of years ago, Pueblo East knocked Fort Morgan out of the state tournament. I believe it was in the semifinals. Correct. Yep. That year, and Pueblo East went on to win the state championship that year. So maybe a little bit of revenge here for some of the players here as they play baseball here this morning. The Fort Morgan Mustangs starting lineup is brought to you by Cargill. Cargill is committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and continuously improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at www.cargill.com. And Fort Morgan is the home team here this morning. Leading off, we'll go ahead and get you the starting lineup here. At second base is Joe Holbeck. Pitching today is Trevor Shurtleff. Catching is Trey McBride. Third base, Nate Cage. Shortstop is Isaac Linker. Left field today is Jimmy Keller. Grayson Garver in right. Adrian Marquez at first. And let's see, we have a change here. Out in left field.
In center field, I think.
Out in center field, yes, excuse me. And that will be Jacob Ortega. That will be out in center field today for the Fort Morgan Mustangs, as we get ready to get things taken care of here. Little breezy over here as the wind blows from the south, as they are up and ready to go. And ready to play ball here as Trevor Shirtliff for the first pitch. And that ball is hit out into center field for a base hit. So first pitch with a single. And that will put Donovan Ada on at first. Next up is TJ Galobe. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's Trevor Shirtliff with the next pitch as they look to bunt, and I believe that was a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes to Galobe. As Shirtliff checks his runner over at first, comes back. Ball gets away from Marquez, but not far enough away for Ada to take off to second. That opening pitch was brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. And that pitch is in there for a strike. So now 1 ball, 1 strike. To the second place hitter, Galobe. He is hitting at .317. And that pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. He has walked 8 times, struck out 16. For Pueblo East, they have a record of 13-6, 7-3 in their South. I don't believe it's South Central League. And that pitch was foul tipped as they tried to bunt once again. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to the second place batter, TJ Galobe, a senior on this Eagles team, and that is going to be swing and a miss, strike 3 for the first out here of the contest. So now that will bring up Jeremiah Reno, I believe is how you pronounce that. And the pitch, and that is going to be upstairs for a ball. Batting at .385. Also a left-handed batter as Shirtliff delivers, and that's also going to be upstairs. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Our vantage point today is sitting down the right field line just so we can see the whole field. Shirtliff checks his runner over at first and comes over, but back in safely is Ada, Donovan Ada. First pitch of the game hit a single right up the middle. Third batter here in rotation, and the pitch, and that is going to be upstairs also. So 3 balls and no strikes to Areno. Shirtliff checks the runner, now comes home, and that is going to be ball 4. All up in the zone. Now that will bring up Josh Telez. He'll be playing first base for Pueblo East. And he is batting at .417 with 3 triples and 7 doubles. 17 RBIs. Now runners at first and second. For Pueblo East, right-handed batter is Telez. And the pitch, and that is going to be low and outside, ball 1. Telez batting at .417. Scored 10 runs, 25 hits. Shirtliff checks his runners, now comes home, and that changeup is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. As we play here in the District 3 regional tournament at Palisade, and that pitch is going to be up and away. Ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Looks like a pretty big hole in between second and third with Linker playing pretty much behind second base, holding on the runner, I think.
And the pitch, and that is going to be hit, bounce.
Double play ball.
Double play, possibly, and they do get the double play. Nice job on the double play as it is hit to Joe Holbeck, and then he gets it off to Linker, and then over to Marquez for the double play. So Pueblo East threatens but do not score. We go to the bottom of the first, no score on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Eric Nickel back here at Palisade High School as the Mustangs take on Pueblo East. Fort Morgan gets out of the inning on a double play as it went from second to short to first to end the inning. So we will start now here in the bottom of the first with Joe Holbeck up, Trevor Shirtliff on deck, Trey McBride in the hole. And that will be followed by Nate Cage, Isaac Linker, Jimmy Keller, Grayson Garver, Adrian Marquez, and Jacob Ortega getting a start in center field today. Joe Holbeck batting at .351, 13 walks, 6 strikeouts. As he bats in, steps in from the right side. All Fort Morgan batters are right-handed batters. Pitching for the Pueblo East is Pacheco, and that ball is hit hard down the left field line, and that is a base hit for Joe Holbeck. So one pitch, one pitch and a runner on. And that will bring up Trevor Shirtliff. Shirtliff batting at .324. Holbeck does have 7 stolen bases as Pacheco checks the runner over at first and throws back. But in safely is Holbeck. So Trevor Pacheco. Right-hander on the mound, and the pitch, and that is going to be put in play, and that is also going to get through out to left field. As back-to-back batters now reach.
2 pitches and 2 hits there.
Pretty good average. So that will bring up Trey McBride. McBride has been on a tear here towards the end of the season. McBride now, I believe, with 7 home runs, leads the team in that category. So now runners at first and second as they check the runners back at second. And the pitch, and that is going to be inside, ball 1. Trey McBride is batting at .456. 21 runs, 26 hits. Yes, Holbeck leads from second, and Shirtliff leads from first. And the delivery, and that is going to be hit foul down the left field line. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. On Trey McBride. Trevor Pacheco, 4-3 record with a 3.91 ERA. As he gets his sign from his catcher. And the delivery, and that is going to be inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nate Cage on deck, Isaac Linker in the hole. As Pacheco gets his sign, now checks his runners. And the delivery, and that is going to be hit out to right field. It's playing heck with the ball here, but caught out in right field is the first out for the Mustangs. As that ball was caught by the right fielder. So runner still at first and second. Holbeck at second. Trevor Shirtliff at first. So McBride just got under that. With Nate Cage now at the plate for the Mustangs. Nate Cage stands in also from the right side, and the delivery, and that is going to be put into play out to the shortstop as they go to second. They're going to say safe at second. Everybody is safe, so an infield hit for Nate Cage. As they went to second for the force, but Trevor Shurtleff in there safely.
Like they might have had a chance at the double play, but they didn't even try for it. The first baseman never made it back over to the bag.
So now bases loaded here for the Mustangs as that brings up Isaac Linker. And the delivery, and that ball is put into play. Now it's going to be bobbled out in center field. It was a single, and that will bring in Joe Holbeck. So nice job by Isaac Linker to get that hit out to center field. So the bases still loaded for the Mustangs, as that will now bring up Jimmy Keller. Jimmy Keller batting at .348. No home runs for Keller. Bases loaded with Linker at first, Cage at second, and Shurtleff over at third, and that ball is in there for a strike. No balls and one strike to Jimmy Keller. Jimmy Keller playing left field today for the Mustangs. As the runners get their leads, and the pitch, and that is going to be inside as Keller turns away. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Pacheco gets his sign from the catcher, checks his runners, now the delivery, and that is going to be low and outside. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Pacheco only with 11 pitches, but when the first 2 get on by their first pitch is a single, they don't add up real quickly. Pacheco now with the delivery, and that is going to be in there. Strike 2. Yes, Keller watched that ball go by. So great opportunity here for the Mustangs to get some more on the board. Yes, Pacheco checks his runners and gets the sign, now the delivery. And that pitch must have been outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 1-0 Fort Morgan. As Joe Holbeck has scored for the Mustangs. And the delivery, and that ball is foul tipped at the plate. So staying alive is Jimmy Keller with a 3 balls and 2 strike count. Sounds like the Fort Morgan dugout is alive over there with some chatter. Get the enthusiasm going over there from the third base dugout. Pacheco with the delivery, and that ball is put into play. It's going to be picked up by the second baseman, and they're going to be safe all around as Holbeck comes in. Did he try to flip that to him?
Looked like he tried to flip it with his glove. He could have just stepped on second himself and at least got 1 out there, but tried to flip it to the second baseman, and I don't think he was expecting it.
And that was the shortstop, that error on the shortstop.
Yeah, I think it probably should have been, it should have been an out.
So an error there. On the shortstop. As the bases remain loaded. And
first pitch there is low and outside.
For a ball, so 2-0 here. Fort Morgan as Trevor Shurtleff scores on the hit ball error caused by the shortstop, and that pitch is going to be upstairs ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. That's all you got to do is put the ball in play and see what happens.
Yeah, so far nothing been hit real hard, just not hitting it to where Pueblo East is at the moment.
So the delivery, and that hits Garver in the back, as he is awarded first. So he'll get it. I believe he will get an RBI. I believe that will be an RBI, although you have the error. So Garver hit by the pitch. So now 3-0 Fort Morgan as we play in the bottom of the first. Trevor Pacheco, on the mound. At the plate now is Adrian Marquez. Adrian Marquez does have a couple of home runs this year. Actually has 4. And that pitch is fouled way out of play for strike 1. So now Garver at first, Keller at second, Isaac Linker at third. As Adrian Marquez waits the delivery, and that is going to be in there for a strike. So behind in the count is Adrian Marquez, no balls, 2 strikes, with 1 out. And that 1 out was Trey McBride as he flied out to the right fielder. So Pacheco with the delivery, and that is going to be fouled back over the backstop and out of play. So still 2-strike count on Marquez. Now 21 total pitches for Pacheco. Shirtliff pitched 14 in that top of the first. And the delivery, and that ball is going to be put into play to the shortstop. They go to second for 1. And they do get the double play, as that was turned nicely there by Pueblo East. So the Mustangs put 3 across, as the Mustangs do put 3 up on the board.
Marquez's ball there is probably the hardest hit of the inning, just right at the second baseman to the shortstop, then on to first for the double play.
So in the bottom of the first, the Mustangs have 3 runs on 4 hits with 1 error and 2 left on. So we go to the top of the second on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Palisade High School, the Mustangs have taken a 3-0 lead, and that first pitch by Trevor Shirtliff to Efren Perez is a strike. Shirtliff with the next pitch, and that is going to be a ball off of the glove of McBride. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch is going to be a curveball and missed inside. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Perez, and the pitch, and that is put into play out into center field for a base hit. So 2 hits now for the Pueblo East Eagles, as that will bring up pitcher Trevor Pacheco. Yes, he throws right-handed, but he's batting left-handed. As Perez takes his lead, and the pitch is going to be low, ball 1. So Pacheco batting at .391. Perez does not have any stolen bases. And the delivery, and that is going to be hit out in the air to right field to Garver for the out. So pop fly, line drive out to Garver in right field. For the first out here in the top of the second inning, still at first is Efren Perez. No stolen bases for Perez. 29 stolen bases as a total for the Eagles. That pitch is in there. Swing and a miss, strike one. No balls and one strike to the 7th place hitter, John Arona. And the pitch is fouled off. Now no balls and 2 strikes. Shurtleff ahead in the count. Arona is a right-handed batter. Shurtleff checks his runner, now the delivery, and that's going to be outside. Ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to John Arona. Batting at .333. Close play over at first, but back safely is Perez. Shurtleff has a pretty good move to first.
Yeah, almost caught him there mid-step on it. He's taking another step on his lead, but just got back in time.
That pitch fouled back over back to the backstop. So Shurtleff gets his sign from McBride, now checks the runner at first, and the delivery home, and that is going to be up and away. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Arona. Only 6 RBIs for Arona. Shurtleff with the delivery and out at the plate, swinging is John Arona.
Tried to check his swing there, but wasn't able to hold up enough, and the home plate umpire called it himself. Didn't have to check down to first.
We do have 3 umpires here for the district games. Now up to bat is Joss Velasco, and that is hit to Linker and comes way across for the 3rd out. Nice job there by Linker to Marquez for the out. So Mustangs still lead at 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Eric Nickel back here at the Region 3 tournament in Palisade as the Fort Morgan Mustangs are leading the Pueblo East Eagles 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd. The top of that 2nd for Trevor Shurtleff, they had no runs on 1 hit and 1 left. Had a total of 13 pitches in that inning, is up to a total of 27 altogether. 14 strikes, 13 balls. But helped out with the double play to end the inning. It wasn't a double play, I guess, just an out at first from Isaac Linker. So to lead off in this bottom of the 2nd will be Jacob Ortega, the center fielder, followed by Joe Holbeck and Trevor Shurtleff for their 2nd time up at the plate. As the wind has almost died down, put that ball into the play to the first baseman, and Tellez will beat Ortega to the bag. So out at first is Jacob Ortega. So up now will be Joe Holbeck, 1 for 1 and a single. As Pacheco gets his sign and the delivery and the pitch, and that is inside. Ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes. Joe Holbeck led off the game on the first pitch with a single, and that pitch misses inside. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. As we are back at the top of the batting order with Joe Holbeck, followed by Trevor Shurtleff, and if they get Trey McBride in the hole. And the delivery, and that is going to be fouled back over the screen. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Holbeck. Pacheco now with the delivery, and that is going to be in the dirt and skips back to the backstop. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Holbeck ahead in the count. As we play under clear blue skies here in Palisade. A few wispy high clouds, and that pitch is going to be a swing and a miss for strike two. Full count now on Holbeck. As Pacheco gets his sign, and now the delivery, and that is going to be upstairs, ball four. So Joe Holbeck reaches via the walk. Holbeck does have 7 stolen bases on the year. We'll see if Fort Morgan plays a little small ball and Trevor Shirtliff tries to bunt him over. If Shirtliff did have a single his first time up on his first pitch that he saw. And Pacheco checks Holbeck on the delivery, and they're swinging away, and that ball is hit out to left field, out to center field, and caught by the center fielder as they are hitting away. But flied out to the center fielder. For the second out here in the bottom of the second, with the Mustangs leading 3-0. Now Trey McBride at the plate. He is 0 for 1. He was the first out of the first inning as he flied out to right field. Nate Cage on deck, Isaac Linker in the hole. They're going to throw back to first, and in safely is Joe Holbeck. Holbeck getting a fairly decent, about a 3-step lead, now about a 4-step lead out there. As Pacheco checks him. Does not go, and that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike to McBride. McBride does have 27 RBIs this year. But Pacheco gets his sign from his catcher, Josh Velasco. And throw back over to first. Ball gets away, but not far enough for Holbeck to take off to second. As the Mustangs try to get another run across here, Holbeck at first. See if McBride can get into one. They have a fairly tall fence out in left field. And that's going to be a swing and a miss by McBride. It's now no ball, 2-strike count. As McBride stands in from the right side.
It's like a curveball there that's going to have the bottom drop out, and McBride swung over it.
And the pitch, and that is going to be in the dirt, strike 3, but they're going to throw him out at first. But that will be the third out of the inning. As the Mustangs go down on no runs and no hits. Nobody left but 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the third inning with the Mustangs leading 3-0 on B106 and B106.com. Back here at Palisade High School, Brian Nickel and Eric Nickel, I'll get this correct here, we go to the top of the third. That's where Morgan just batted in the bottom of the second as they did not score. So up for the Pueblo East Eagles will be Tori Koshak batting at .333, and then back to the top of the batting order, Donovan Atta and TJ Galobe. Kosak is batting at .333. 17 hits, 8 RBIs. So Shirtliff gets his sign, and he is ready to deliver and the pitch, and that is going to be, this is maybe outside, ball 1. Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is going to be a big swing and a miss. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Shirtliff with 29 total pitches, 15 strikes, 14 balls. As that ball misses, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch, and that is going to be put into play to Nate Cage down at third. He comes across to Marquez for the out. So nice play there by Marquez. And by Cage to Marquez. For the first out here in the top of the third. Up next is Donovan Atta. Had a single his first time up, so we 1 for 1. Shirtliff with a kick in the delivery, and that changeup misses. Ball one. We're down past the first base a little ways, so it's hard to tell just where they're missing. But that one was in there for a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Donovan Atta. And that pitch misses for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Delivery, and that is going to be upstairs, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike now. As Shirtliff works here in the top of the 3rd. Gets his sign from McBride, and the kick in the delivery, and that is going to be hit out to center field. Ortega's going to try to run it down. It's going to get over his head to the fence. And into second with a double is Donovan Atta.
Ortega got a good break on it. It just hit almost to the fence, and did a good job of keeping him held to a double.
Yeah, he hustled down that ball, but it was just off to his right of ways and hit almost to the warning track. So scoring position for the Eagles is Donovan Atta. TJ Galoba, he is 0 for 1 on a strikeout. Yes, he gets his lead over at second. Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is going to be in there, strike 1. As the wind picks back up here a little bit in Palisade. And the delivery, and that is going to be hit to Marquez at first, and he will take it for the out at first. That will advance the runner to third. So runner now at third base for the Eagles.
Easy play there for Marquez. Didn't really have any other option but to take the out there and let the runner move up.
So that's 2 outs. So the pitch misses, ball 1. And this is to Jeremiah Ariano.
Right.
I believe is how that is. That pitch is going to be fouled off to the left and out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Mustangs lead at 3-0, and the pitch. And that misses for ball 2. Ariano walked his first time, and that is going to be fouled back to the fence. So no balls and 2 strikes, or a strike away from getting out of the inning here without any damage. Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is going to be up and away, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jeremiah Ariano with Josh Telez on, and that is going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. As the Mustangs avoid any runs here by the Eagles. So in the top of the 3rd, we had no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 3rd with the Mustangs leading at 3-0 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Eric Nickel back here at Palisade High School as Nate Cage comes up. As he awaits the first pitch, and that is going to be in there for a strike. Nate Cage is 1 for 1 with a single. Trevor Pacheco with a delivery, and that pitch is going to be hit out into left field for a single. Nice job there by Nate Cage. As he starts it off here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Hard hit ball there, and just in between second and third baseman, they'll be able to get to it.
So that will bring up Isaac Linker, 1 for 1. As Cage gets a short lead from first. Pacheco checks him, steps off the rubber. As he looks back in to Velasco to get his sign. And in there for a strike to Isaac Linker. So no balls and 1 strike. Josh Lankford, head coach over at third. Grant Harden, first base coach. As Pacheco steps off the bag once again. I can't believe that they're too worried about Cage taking off. He does have 1 stolen base this year, so keeping an eye on him. Maybe the hit and run in order. He jumps away a little bit. Now a nice bunt out to the pitcher as they will come to first for the out. So a sacrifice bunt.
Takes away the double play ball and moves Cage up into scoring position there.
So Nate Cage now at second. Jimmy Keller up to the plate. 0 for 1, reached on an error. As Pacheco delivers, and that is going to be high, ball 1. And I've never seen him run for Cage. I don't know why they don't bring, they could bring somebody off the base as a courtesy runner, but I've never seen anybody come in for Cage to run. As Keller steps out for a minute, gathers his thoughts, now steps back in as we are 1 ball and no strikes. Cage gets a short lead out at second, and that hits Keller. So runners now at first and second.
Look, I got him right on the forearm. He's holding that pretty good. Stinging right now.
Yeah. So that's 2 hit batsmen for the Mustangs. As they're going to give him a minute. I think the catcher's going to go out and talk to the pitcher, maybe just to give Keller a minute to get over the initial sting of the pitch. As they sit out there at the pitcher's mound. Northeastern, live in your world, live in ours. For more information about Northeastern or classes available to you, go to www.njc.edu. So now up is Grayson Garber. I believe he was the one that was hit by the pitch first time up, and that is going to be high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner in scoring position with Nate Cage. Jimmy Keller at first.
Garber squared the bunt there, but the third baseman's still playing back behind the bag, so it doesn't look like they're worried about it. The first baseman's up a little bit, but
Garber's their best bunter.
And with his speed, I mean, he could be looking to bunt for base hit.
And he's going to put the ball in play to the first baseman as they're going to throw out to second, but I believe he is safe as they bobble the ball out at second. So everybody will be safe. So should have had an out there at second.
That would have been a tough double play to turn anyway with Grayson's speed. It probably should have just taken the out at first and been done with it. But tried to go to second and then to first, but wasn't able to turn it.
So an error on the second baseman. So up to the plate now is Adrian Marquez. So bases loaded for Marquez. Wind picks up here a little bit once again in Palisade, and that pitch is going to be fouled off to the left. 4 strike 1. Only 1 out here as the bases are loaded for Marquez. Marquez does have 13 RBIs with 4 home runs. Pacheco with 42 total pitches checks the runners and the delivery, and that is going to be inside, ball 2. 2 balls, or 1 ball and 1 strike, excuse me.
Keller did a good job on that ground ball there to break up the double play. Didn't make it easy for the second baseman, or the shortstop, I guess, rather, to catch and turn.
So the delivery, and that is going to be a ball 2 balls and 1 strike. Cage at third, Keller at second, Garver at first. Pacheco checks and the kick and the delivery, and that's going to be high, ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike now to the 8th place batter, Adrian Marquez. As the Mustangs look to add on to their lead here, as they lead at 3-0, playing in the bottom of the 3rd. Over the 3rd seed Pueblo East Eagles. Fort Morgan, the number 2 seed, and that pitch is fouled off to the left in front of the Mustang dugout. Looked like it might have been low. Could have been ball 4 possibly, but apparently something he liked, so he took a swing at it. So now a 3-2 count, 1 out to Marquez as Pacheco checks his catcher, now gets what he likes and checks the runners, and now the kick and the delivery, and that is going to be a hard hit ball out to left field, bounces over the left fielder's head, took a bad bounce, goes to the fence, and they're going to wave Garver home, and they're going to get the throw, but Garver is going to be in safe. A bases clearing double by Adrian Marquez makes it now 6-0 Fort Morgan.
Never seen a ball hit in the outfield bounce like that, just straight up over his head. He couldn't have done anything about that. He played it well and was right in front of it, but just right over his head, almost rolled out to the fence.
So nice job there by Adrian Marquez to put the ball in play. So 3 runs across, so now 6-0 on 6 hits here in the game. As we play now with Jacob Ortega at the plate. Ortega 0 for 1, a ground out to the first baseman, his first time up. And the pitch, and that's going to be fouled and coming right at us here, but comes up short. Nice running try here by the first baseman. But hits the ground. Ortega stays alive with still 1 out. So Adrian Marquez with the big hit here in the 3rd. Yes, Pacheco now up to 48 total pitches. But Jacob Ortega waits, and that pitch is going to be outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Marquez gets his lead out at second. Yeah, that ball hit right out in front of him, bounced over. Pacheco checks the runner, and now the delivery, and that ball is going to be hit out into left field as they will stop Marquez at second, or at third, excuse me. So Jacob Ortega comes through with the single. So now runners at the corners. That ball was hit over the top of the shortstop. So now Ortega at first, Marquez at third. As looks like the coach is going to have a little chat with the pitcher as he brings in the whole infield. So Equitable Savings and Loan, proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. They are available 24/7 for your banking needs. B&B Appliance, when you're shopping for new appliances, shop the best appliance store in Fort Morgan. B&B Appliance carries a full and complete line of Whirlpool appliances and will help you find your perfect fit. B&B Appliance in downtown Fort Morgan.
Looks like the shortstop for Pueblo East may have hurt his hip or his leg there when he jumped for that ball and came back down. He had a couple of, it's like the Palisade trainers come over and talk to him, just kind of trying to walk it off and squatting up and down to see if he can stretch it out.
He didn't come into the conversation, did he? Did they switch? They make a pitching switch? Yes, they did. Perez is now pitching for the Let's see where they put everybody.
Nobody had been warming up in the bullpen here in front of us, but it looks like the first baseman,
Efren Perez.
I think he was playing first.
Perez was playing third. So now that will put, if I can find him here, Efren Perez will now pitch.
Looks like they're just switching.
Is that number 22 over at third now?
Yep.
So that will be Trevor Pacheco at third. So make a pitching change here in the bottom of the third with the Mustangs leading at 6-0. See if we can give you some numbers here on the Pueblo East pitcher. He had a total pitch count of 50, gave up 6 runs, 5 earned. Only 1 strikeout, 1 base on ball, and I know 2 hits batsman. So they will turn it now over to Efren Perez as he comes in with a 2-1 record with a 1.83 ERA. And up the plate is Joe Holbeck, 1 for 1, a single and a walk. Base runners at the corners. His first pitch is way high. 4-1. Adrian Marquez at third. Jacob Ortega at first. As they get their leads, as new pitcher Efren Perez delivers, and that is going to be in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Jacob Ortega, only a freshman, with a big hit here in the bottom of the third to advance Marquez over to second after he cleared the bases on a double to bring in the 3 runs. Now Ortega scoots back to second as they try to keep him close. Josh Langford with the signs over at third. Perez checks his runner and comes home, and Ortega is going to take off, and that is going to be fouled out of play. So hit and run on with Ortega.
Tried the double steal last weekend when I think it was against Conifer, and making them decide where they're going to go, if they're going to let him take second or get into the rundown. I think last week it worked out for a run. So they tried again here.
So Marquez with a fairly decent lead over at third. Ortega gets his lead from first, and the delivery, and that was probably been a ball, but swung at and fouled back. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Joe Holbeck. Yes, Holbeck, a senior on the team, playing second base today. And the pitch, and that misses somewhere for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Looks like it must have been inside. It was right about the belt, but just a bit in, I think.
Mustang bench still alive with chatter. As they lead at 6-0, the runners get their leads, and that is going to be fouled back to the backstop once again. Count remains at 2-2. High Plains Bank offers a wide variety of products that can be customized to fit your individual needs. See what over a century of customer service can do for you at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. As Perez gets his sign, checks his runners. The kick and the delivery, and that is going to be popped up. But I don't believe the catcher had lost sight of it. Third baseman came in, but
hit the top of the Mustangs dugout. So
okay.
I don't think they'd have had a play if they would have seen it from the beginning, but they lost it right off the bat.
So the count remains at 2-2 with Joe Holbeck at the plate, Trevor Shirtliff on deck, Trey McBride in the hole. With only one out here in the bottom of the third, Mustangs lead at 6-0. As the runners get their leads from the corners. And the delivery, and that is going to be a hard hit ball right back to the shortstop. But back in safely, and the ball is thrown away at first, and that will bring in the run from third. So an error. What was that, the shortstop that?
Yeah, it was tough because I think it hit Ortega sliding back into first, but
It was a line drive, was it? I'm sorry.
Right, line drive to shortstop and then moving up to second.
So a line drive to the second baseman.
Went to the shortstop there.
Or to the shortstop, excuse me.
Shirtliff up here, and first pitch is high. Over his head, squats down out of the way and gets out of there.
So now 7-0 Fort Morgan. Jacob Ortega stands out at second base as we play down with 2 outs. Efren Perez on the mound and the delivery, and that is going to be hit in the third, out to left field, and back, and off the warning track. It bounces over for a ground rule double. So an RBI. Oh, that was a home run? Okay, I missed it. I thought it hit on the inside and bounced over.
Yeah.
We can see that fence, and I thought it hit here and bounced over. They called it a home run.
The warning track went over, but they're not arguing it.
They're not saying a word about it.
I guess that fence out there and that part is more see-through than I thought. I thought it was a fly ball to left field to start with, and it just kept carrying. I didn't think it had that much behind it, but
yeah, that is the first home run, I believe, this year for Trevor Shirtliff. As that now makes it 9-0 here in the third, as Fort Morgan brings up now Trey McBride. Yeah, I thought that just kept carrying. It's getting more out of the west. It was kind of a southwest, so it might have got up into that wind enough, and it just helped it on out. But McBride now at the plate, and that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. McBride is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a strikeout. Trevor Shirtliff, that is his first home run of the year. Comes at a good time as the Mustangs bats stay hot. And that pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the bases are empty after Trevor Shirtliff hits a 2-run home run to bring in Jacob Ortega along with himself to make it a 9-0 game here in the bottom of the third. To pitch to McBride, that changeup swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As the ball gets away from the pitcher for a minute, shortstop comes in. If you give him the ball, Perez now with 13 total pitches, 9 strikes, 4 balls. Trevor Shirtliff sits at 44 total pitches, 23 strikes, 21 balls. So Perez with the kick and the delivery, and that ball is going to be fouled out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Trey McBride as he steps out of the batter's box for a minute. And now back in as Perez gets his sign. Comes to the set and the delivery, and that pitch is going to be hit out to the shortstop as they throw it across. Bad throw by the shortstop, and that will get McBride to second. So an error. I believe that was the shortstop that got that ball, threw it away. as McBride ends up out at second base. They have 3 errors so far on Pueblo East.
Like they're going to courtesy run for Trey here.
Okay, who'd they bring in there?
Sounds like Dylan Woods is
okay.
the name I heard. I can't see a number yet, but
Dylan Woods would be number 4. I believe that's who it is. So Dylan Woods, the courtesy runner. As we have no balls and 1 strike on Nate Cage. Nate Cage is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Dylan Woods gets a lead out at second. Nobody holding him on in the delivery, and that is going to be in there for a strike. So no balls, 2 strikes to Nate Cage, senior third baseman for the Mustangs. Yes, he's got an RBI sitting out there at second base for him. Cage with 1 home run this year. And the delivery, and that is going to be up and in for ball 1 as Cage backs away. Not much wind right now. It kind of comes and goes. But Nate Cage back into the batter's box as Perez checks the runner out at second. And now the delivery, and that is going to be up and away for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As the Mustangs have taken control of this game here in the 3rd inning, putting 6 across. 9-0 Mustangs. They look to advance to the championship game this afternoon. And that is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 3. So in the bottom of the 3rd, the Mustangs get 6 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, 1 left on as we go to the top of the 4th. The Mustangs lead at 9-0 on B106 and B106.com. 9-0 Mustangs as we go to the top of the 4th. Josh Tellez, Efren Perez, and Trevor Pacheco in that order for the Pueblo East Eagles. Mustangs put 6 on the board in that bottom of the 3rd. Shirtlift's pitch is have the first base coach standing right in the way. It's misses for a ball. Josh Tellez is 0 for 1 on a ground out, and that pitch also misses for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes to Josh Tellez playing first base, and that is going to be fouled out of play. So 2 balls, 1 strike. So the Mustangs with 9 runs, 8 hits, and 4 left. Eagles, no runs, 3 hits, 3 errors, and 3 left. And that ball is going to be put into play out to Linker. And no play is going to be made as he dropped it out of his glove. But that would have been a tough play anyway. So we'll give Tellez a hit. And that will now bring up Efren Perez, who is now pitching for the Eagles, as he is 1 for 1 in a single. But Tellez, not a real big lead, and that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Shirtlift sits at 49 total pitches as he checks his runner over at first, and the delivery, and that is going to be low. Ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. The ball gets away. Linker comes in, runs the ball down, hands it to Shirtlift. Cage plays in at the grass over on 3rd as they look for the bunt, and that ball is going to be swung on and missed. Gets by McBride, but not far enough for the batter or for the runner to advance. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. no out as we play here in the top of the fourth. Efren Perez at the plate, Trevor Pacheco on deck, John Arona in the hole. Strike 3 called as Perez stood there and watched it go by. So now 1 out here in the fourth. That brings up Trevor Pacheco. Josh Tellez still at first. Shirtliff checks first and now goes home, and that is going to be, must be inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the 6th place hitter as they run the runner back to first, chasing back to first. Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is going to be up. Ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Fort Morgan comes in 15-4 overall, 6-1 in league play. Colorado 7 league. And that is going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 1, excuse me. 2 balls and 1 strike from Trevor Shirtliff. He goes and the delivery, and that is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looks like somebody warming up over at the Fort Morgan. Looks like Bobby Tolson throwing a few pitches over in the bullpen, and that is going to be a hard hit ball out to right field to Garver as he picks it up and gets it back into holdback. So 2 ball, 2 strike count is hit for a single to right field. So now 1 out and runner in scoring position for the Eagles, and that brings up John Arona. He struck out his first time at the plate. And the pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Well, Shirtliff gets ahead in the count. No balls, 1 strike. Shirtliff checks his runners, gets the sign and a delivery, and that changeup is going to be up for a ball, 1 strike.
They may be looking to save some pitches for the afternoon game for Shirtliff if they need him. With Tolson warming up, it'll be interesting to see.
That's a hard hit ball out to, it's going to get by the left fielder out to the fence. And Ortega comes up with it, and he gets the ball back in to Linker, so that will be a 2-run double by Arona. As that ball hit the grass and scooted out to center. So a runner at second in John Arona. Up now is Josh Velasco. He is 0 for 1 with a ground out. So the Eagles get some runs up on the board here in the fourth. And that pitch is in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to the 8th place batter, Josh Velasco. And that is going to be a swing and a miss on that fastball as Shirtliff throws it by him. As Velasco steps out. Now back into the batter's box, tries to slow Shirtliff down a little bit. Now Shirtliff's going to step off. No, I thought he stepped off. He did. He stepped off. Velasco steps out of the batter's box. As we play here in the top of the fourth, 9-2 now. And that is going to be hit out to center field, out to Ortega. And he grabs it and gets the ball in, but it's going to be over the head of Cage. I think they're going to take him out at third. Got him at third base for the second out of the third out as they got the second out at Ortega. Right. The ball went over the head of Cage at third, and I believe that was Shirtliff that ran over there. Was it not? Shirtliff ran over.
Yeah, he was backing up. Yeah, he was backing up home plate and third base,
and then through to Cage.
Probably not the best decision by Ortega, but it ended up working out. I don't think the batter was going to tag up. It wasn't that deep of a ball.
No, I think he was going to come back until he saw where the ball was going.
Saw it was going over the head, yep.
But we go to the bottom of the fourth with the Mustangs up 9-2 on B106 and B106.com. 9-2 Mustangs as we play in the bottom of the fourth inning. In the top of the fourth there, the Eagles had 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors by the Mustangs and nobody left on. Shirtlift now with 63 total pitches, 36 strikes, 27 balls. But we go to the bottom of the fourth now, and Isaac Linker is up, Jimmy Keller on deck, Grayson Garber in the hole. Isaac Linker with a single and a sac bunt, 1 for 1. Is Efren Perez on the hill still for the Eagles. As we play here in the bottom of the fourth, and the delivery by Perez is going to be way up for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. As the wind dies down once again here at the field, and the delivery, and that is going to be in there for a strike. As the chatter continues over at the Mustang dugout. Josh Langford over at third base coach, and Grant Harden here at first. Perez with the delivery, and that pitch is going to be outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Isaac Linker. Yes, Perez gets his sign and the delivery, and that is going to be fouled out of play. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mr. D's Ace Home Center with 3 locations to serve you better. Sterling Brush in Fort Morgan. Your headquarters for all your home, farm, and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed. So 9-2 now. As Pueblo East puts 2 on the in on the top of the fourth. That ball is going to be up. Ball 3, full count now on Linker. As the umpire lets everybody know what the count is. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Isaac Linker waits at the plate for Perez. And the kick and the delivery, and that is going to be put into play at the third baseman, and he bobbles it. So an error by the third baseman gets Linker on. So that will be error number 4 on Pueblo East on my score sheet anyway. And that will bring up Jimmy Keller. 0 for 1, hit by a pitch and also reached on an error. So Linker now at first base. Linker on the year with 3 stolen bases. Jimmy Keller with, let's see how many RBIs he has. We'll wait here as a delivery, and that is going to be in there for a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Keller. 11 RBIs for Keller. As Linker gets not a real big lead out here at first, and the delivery, and that is going to be in there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the 6th place hitter, Jimmy Keller. Linker about a 2-step lead out at first. But Perez checks him. And the delivery home, and that is going to be called strike 3 on Jimmy Keller. And that will be the first out of the bottom of the fourth. That brings up Grayson Garber, hit by a pitch and also an error, reached on an error. Adrian Marquez on deck, Jacob Ortega in the hole. As Garber stands in and waits, and the delivery, and he tries to bunt. And that's going to be a foul off to the right. I don't know how many bunts he has this year, but he is their leading bunter, best bunter on the team. He stands in there down in the count, no balls and 1 strike. Mustangs leading at 9-2. And the pitch. And that is going to be apparently outside. Ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. To the 7th place batter, Grayson Garver. Perez checks the runner, and now the pitch. And that is going to be hit to the shortstop. They're going to go to second for 1. And the ball gets away from the first baseman, but out at second is Linker.
Not sure they would have had him even if they would have held on to the ball. It would have been close. With Garver's speed is tough to turn it there.
I went to second. So Grayson Garver on at first. Now with 2 outs. Adrian Marquez at the plate. And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. 1 for 2, a ground out and a double. His last time up, he had a bases clearing double out to center field. Garver gets a decent lead over at first as Efren Perez is going to. Perez steps off and fakes the throw to first. Garver scoots back to the bag. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The Mustangs leading at 9-2. Adrian Marquez at the plate, and Garver's going to take off, and they're going to throw down, and Garver is going to be in there with the stolen base. Nice job there by Grayson Garver. As he takes second. So now scoring position for Adrian Marquez. As it sits at 1-1. And that is in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marquez gets behind in the count. Grayson Garver stands out at second. RBI possibility for Adrian Marquez. Jacob Ortega on deck. Joe Holbeck in the hole. And Garver's going to take off once again. That ball is going to be hit out to the right fielder, I believe, is where they're going to finally come down with it, and squeezes it for the 3rd out. So the Mustangs do not score. So we go to the top of the 5th. The Mustangs lead at 9-2 on B106 and B106.com. 9-2 Fort Morgan as we play here in the top of the 5th. Brian Nickel and Eric Nickel here at Palisade. Some other games maybe of interest to people. Weld Central in the Colorado 7 League will play at 12:30. They play Gunnison in La Junta. Weld Central is a 3 seed. Gunnison is a 2 seed, and that is in 3A. Brush plays at 12:30 against St. Mary's at Peak to Peak. Peak to Peak is in Lafayette. The other 4A team from the Colorado 7 League, Conifer, will play at 12:30, and they get the pleasure of playing Denver North at Denver North. And that pitch is going to be in there for a strike to Torrey Kozak. He is 0 for 1 on a ground out. And the next pitch is going to be in there, strike 2. So Shurtleff with 65 total pitches. And the kick and the delivery, and that is going to miss. As McBride tried to hold the ball there, maybe change the mind of the umpire. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The delivery by Shurtleff misses once again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yes, Kosak steps out for a minute, now back into the batter's box, and that pitch is going to be outside, ball 3. So Shurtleff behind now in the count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Was ahead in the count, 2 strikes. And now the delivery, and that is going to be hit out to Garver out in right, and he comes down with it for the out. So one out here in the top of the fifth. As Grayson Garver squeezes it for the out. That goes back to the top of the order now to Donovan Atta, who is 2 for 2, a single and a double. And the delivery, and that is going to be low ball 1. So one out here in the top of the fifth. The delivery, and that is going to be up and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to the leadoff hitter, Donovan Atta. And that is going to be a swing and a miss. That was fouled back to the backstop. So 2 balls, 1 strike to Donovan Atta, playing shortstop. And that ball misses for a 3-1 count. And that is going to be skied here to Adrian Marquez. As the ball plays, or the wind plays with it, but Marquez comes down and squeezes it for the out. So a pop fly to Adrian Marquez for out number 2. That will bring up TJ Galobe, right fielder, 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out. As Shirtliff with the delivery. That is going to be in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. 42 strikes, 33 balls for Shirtliff, and that ball is popped up over on the third base line and caught by Nate Cage.
I think it may have been.
Was it out of
play? I think
okay.
over there you can catch it, but I think there's a line over there where it's out of play.
Yeah, so that's just a foul ball. Yeah, I can see that line now because the bullpen is over there on that side. So now no balls and 2 strikes to Galobe, and that is going to be in for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the delivery, and that is going to be low and away. Shirtliff is up to 78 pitches. And the delivery, and that is going to be fouled off to the right once again, but this time well out of play. So the count remains at 2-2. 2 out. 9-2 Mustangs here in the top of the fifth. Shirtliff with the delivery, and that is going to be up and away once again, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. As it starts to warm up here in Palisade, they're looking for a high of 87 here this afternoon. And the delivery, and called strike 3. He was headed to first, but the umpire called it strike 3. So the Eagles go down in order here in the top of the fifth as we go to the bottom of the fifth with the Mustangs leading 9-2 on B106 and B106.com. 9-2 Mustangs as we go to the bottom of the fifth. Up will be Jacob Ortega to lead off, Joe Holbeck, and then Trevor Shirtliff. If anybody was to reach, Trey McBride. Jacob Ortega 1 for 2, a ground out and a single. As we get set to play here in the bottom of the fifth. Efren Perez still on the mound for the Eagles as he came in for relief for Trevor Pacheco. And the delivery, and that is going to be in there for a strike. Doesn't look like he throws real hard, does it? I mean, it looks like a pretty effortless pitch.
Yeah, not as hard as the starter did, I don't think. He made a little more movement and off speed.
So Perez with the delivery, and that is going to be in there, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Ortega. As Perez gets set, and the kick and the delivery, and that is going to be put into play out to the second baseman. He grabs it, throws to first, and nice scoop there by the first baseman. Not a good throw by the second baseman, but scooped out at first for the first out. As that goes 4-3. That will bring up Joe Holbeck, top of the order for the Mustangs. He is 1 for 2. A single, a walk, and a line drive. Been up to the plate 3 times. This is his 4th time already up at the plate. And the delivery, and that is going to be in there for a strike. So Perez with 41 total pitches. 29 strikes, 12 balls. Yes, he looks in, gets his sign from the catcher Velasco. And the delivery, and that is going to be in there, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. To the leadoff batter, Joe Holbeck. As the wind picks up once again here in Palisade. Palisade and Evergreen will play at noon or in that area, as that ball is going to be fouled over the backstop and out of play. So the count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Palisade, the number 1 seed here. Evergreen, the number 2 seed. The winner of this game will play the winner of that second game scheduled for 3 o'clock.
Evergreen will be the number 4 seed.
The number 4 seed, what did I say?
2.
Okay, sorry. Fort Morgan's the number 2 seed. Pueblo East is the number 3 seed. And that is going to be a ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trevor Shirtliff sits at 81 total pitches through 5. Perez, and that ball is going to be way up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Joe Holbeck. A few high clouds around. Once in a while we get a bit of shade, but not much. The kick and the delivery, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. But he's going to hustle down to first, and he will be there safely. So that is he will be on first. On a drop third strike, I believe how that would be scored here. So now Trevor Shirtliff up at the plate. He is 2 for 3. Single, fly out, and a home run his last time up. And that pitch is going to be up and in for ball 1 as he's leaned back away from that a little bit. And Efren Perez checks the runner over at first, and Joe Holbeck. Holbeck gets about a 3-step lead out there. Perez waits, and now the delivery, and that ball is going to be hit out to center field, and Joe Holbeck will hold up at second. So a nice swing there by Trevor Shirtliff to put the ball out to center field. Gets a single to put 2 on. And now Trey McBride comes up. Yes, he is 0 for 3. A fly out, a strikeout, and reached out an error. So it's about time for him to unleash one here. He's been on a tear. Play with 1 out. It's Holbeck at second. Shirtliff at first. McBride at the plate. Cage on deck. Isaac Linker in the hole. And the delivery, and that is going to be in there. Strike 1. As Perez steps off for just a minute. And now he's going to check his runners out at first and second. And McBride, and that pitch is going to be skied up. That goes out of play over on the left side for a foul. No balls, 2 strikes. Smart Parts, your family's safety is their main concern, so let the trained professionals install your new windshield. Give them a call at 522-5399. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th, 2 on. First and second. McBride at the plate, down 0-2. And the delivery, and that is going to be foul tipped and dropped at the plate. So still an 0-2 count on Trey McBride. Not happy with himself on that one. But Joe Holbeck stands out at second, Trevor Shirtliff at first.
So he's been out in front of both those past two pitches, so adjusting from the starting pitcher to this pitcher. Throws a little bit softer, it seems.
Chatter from the Fort Morgan dugout as Perez comes to the set, checks his runners. And the delivery, and that is going to be hit down the third baseline, foul. He would have got one in anyway. I don't know if Shirtliff would have been around there or not, but that would have went to the corner if that would have been fair. Because it looks like the third baseman is off the bag a ways. McBride stays alive on the foul ball. No balls, 2 strikes. Playing the bottom of the 5th, 2 on. 9-2 Mustangs. Perez with the delivery, and that ball is going to be fouled to Nate Cage over in the batter's circle over on the left side. So McBride stays alive. Gets a chance to see another pitch here. 53 pitches by Perez as the runners take their leads, and now that ball is going to be popped up. And they let that.
No, he caught it, but he had to hold up in case they did. In case it dropped.
Oh, okay. So the out was the catch, not necessarily at third.
No, it looks like he did drop it and threw it to third. You're right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's courtesy runner for Trey.
So he did put that into play then.
Holbeck had to hold up in second in case they did catch it, and get caught up, doubled up.
So I guess that would go as a fielder's choice. And that pitch is going to be a strike. So out at third.
Shirtliff moved up there on that
Shirtliff's
last
out at
pitch.
Oh, okay.
Stole third, had a big jump, and just took it.
So Shirtliff went to second. And now Cage is they're going to send the runner who came in for McBride.
Dylan Woods again, I think.
Dylan Woods. Yeah, a courtesy runner. And an 0-2 count on Cage. And the delivery, and that is going to be up and away. Ball 1. So Shirtliff had advanced over to third. And now Dylan Woods over at second. And that is going to be skied high. The catcher has no idea where it's at. I think it went out of play.
It looks like it landed up in the bleachers just behind home plate.
So Dylan Woods stands at second, Shirtliff at third. With Nate Cage at the plate, a 1-2 count. Nate Cage is 2 for 3, a single, 2 singles, and a strikeout. So a chance for a couple of RBIs here for Cage. Get those 2 runs back that Pueblo East put on the board, and that is going to be fouled at the plate. So still a 1-2 count to Cage. As the Mustangs lead at 9-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. With Nate Cage at the plate, Isaac Linker on deck, Jimmy Keller in the hole. And the delivery, and that is a swing and a miss. He was fooled on that one for the third out. So we will go to the top of the sixth. In the bottom of the fifth, no runs on one hit, two left as the Mustangs lead at 9-2 on B106 and B106.com. 9-2 Fort Morgan as we go to the top of the sixth. Jeremiah Ariano will come up for the Pueblo East Eagles as he a walk and a strikeout, 0 for 1. As they throw down to second, now get the ball back to Shirtliff as they're ready to go here. Everybody's still in their normal positions. Marquez at first, Holbeck at second, Cage at third, Linker at short. Keller in left, Ortega in center, and Garver in right. And the pitch, and that is going to be hit down here to right field to Grayson Garver. So they lead off with a single. So Jeremiah Ariano on at first, Josh Telez up, 1 for 2, a ground out and a single. Yeah, Shirtliff checks his runner over at first. And the pitch home, and that is going to be in there for a strike. Ariano with 4 stolen bases this year. 29 on the year for the team. And the pitch, and that is going to be put into play to Cage. They go to second for 1, over to 2 with the double play. Got him! Nice job out there as they turn the double play. Was that 5-4-3 on the double play? Nice job there by the Mustangs. On the double play. As that first pitch is going to be a ball. So Efren Perez up at the plate, 2 outs. And that pitch also misses, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes on Efren Perez. That is, pitch is going to be in there for a strike. As Perez backs out for a minute, now back into the batter's box. And the pitch, and that is going to be put into play, a high chopper, and that's going to get by Linker. They wouldn't have had a play on him anyway. So that will be an infield, a single. Did get out to the left fielder. But a single that got by short by Isaac Linker, but they wouldn't have had to play anyway. Now we have a courtesy runner for Perez. And that is going to be Jacob Garul, who will be at first now for Perez. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. They're going to throw back to first. Back safely is Garul. Up at the plate is Trevor Pacheco. Third baseman back in safely once again is the runner at first. Shirtliff checks the runner once again, gets the sign from McBride, and the pitch home, and that's going to get by McBride, and that's going to get the runner to second. That's a pass ball. That should have been handled by Trey McBride, so runner in scoring position for the Eagles. And that was a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Trevor checks the runner. Now the pitch. And that is going to be in there, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. See if the Mustangs can shut out the Eagles here in the top of the 6th. as time is called at the plate. So we are an hour and 44 minutes into this game, into the sixth inning, 10 till 12. I believe the other game was supposed to start at 12:30. That's not going to happen, I don't believe. And that pitch was low for a ball. Held up on the swing did Pacheco. So 1 ball, 2 balls, and 1 strike. They must have changed that.
Yeah, I think that first pitch that got past McBride must have been a ball, because that would have been the 3rd strike if that first one was called a strike. I think
Okay, so now we're standing at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now we get it right here. The scoreboard does work here, and that ball is going to be hit out to Holbeck. It's going to get by Holbeck out to center field, so that will score Garul from second. So a single out to center field. Yes, he does score. Makes it now a 9-3 ball game here in the top of the 6th. And up at the plate is John Arona. 1 for 2, a strikeout and a double. Yeah, Shirtliff with 93 total pitches. And the pitch, and that's going to be hit out here to Garver. Looks like it's going to be foul. It does land out of play. But nice hustle there by Garver. Does just land outside the fence. So a long strike on John Arona. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. That pitch is going to be in there for strike 2. So we'll see if Shirtliff can shut him down here, and he'll be able to come back in the 7th. And the pitch, and that is going to be up and away for ball 1. So now sitting at 96 pitches. Shirtliff checks his runner and the delivery, and that is going to be a hard hit ball right to Nate Cage at third for the out. So that'll be the 3rd out of the inning, as that was a line drive right to Nate Cage. So 1 in for the Bulldogs as they make it now a 9-3 contest as we go to the bottom of the 6th on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Eric Nickel here at Palisade High School as we sit in the bottom of the 6th, 9-3. In the top of that 6th inning, Trevor Shirtliff had 16 total pitches. Pueblo East had 1 run on 3 hits and 1 left. As Efren Perez still on the hill, and the delivery, and that skipped in, I believe, for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. It's Perez with the kick and the delivery, and that ball is going to be popped up as the second baseman goes out, and he squeezes it for the out. So Isaac Linker out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. And that will bring up Jimmy Keller, 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, a strikeout, and reached on an error. Grayson Garver on deck, Adrian Marquez in the hole. As Bobby Tolson warms up in the bullpen for the Mustangs. And that pitch misses away, ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out as we play bottom of 6. Mustangs looking to advance to the championship game this afternoon, and that pitch is going to be outside. 2 balls and no strikes as they will play the winner of the second game between Palisade and Evergreen. Looks like one of the teams, that was probably Evergreen over on the other side over there, looked like they're ready to take the field, and that ball is going to be put into play to the second baseman. A high hop and be safe at first. Oh, that's Hamer that has come in, excuse me, as he is pinch hit for Jimmy Keller.
Looked like the second baseman should have had that there, just bobbled it a bit, and Hammer is running hard from the box.
So Hamer on base. Brings up Grayson Garver. Garver is 1 for 2, hit by a pitch. That is in there for a strike. Hit by a pitch, reached on an error and singled. As Hamer comes in for Keller. We'll see how the alignment goes in the outfield when they come back. Probably bring Ortega out as they're going to take off, and he is going to be tagged out on the steal attempt as the pitcher just held onto the ball and Hamer took off. But out trying to steal. Yes, he is caught stealing out there at second. Yeah, Grayson Garver still at the plate. Caught stealing. And safe at first is Garver.
Infield single to third, just not hit hard enough for the third baseman to have a chance to throw him out.
So Hamer go to as we are still here with Garver on at first with 2 outs. And the pitch, and that is going to be a swing and a miss on Marquez. So Adrian Marquez. Yes, Garver at first. He's going to scoot back to first as they finally throw the ball back to the pitcher. So Marquez is 1 for 3 with a ground out, a double, and a fly out. So Garver gets a little bit bigger lead with Marquez at the plate. And that is going to be a ball, 1 strike. To Adrian Marquez, senior first baseman for the Mustangs. Now the wind's going to pick up again here out of the southwest. If he can get that up into that ball, up into that air, it may go out. And scooting back to first after the pitch is Garver. That's going to be ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. As Garver stands on first, having a little chat with the first baseman there, Josh Tellez. Perez and Garver's going to take off, and that's going to be a strike, and in at that second is Garver with the steal. And that was in there for strike 2. Stolen base out there now for Garver. So we have an RBI out there for Adrian Marquez as Garver stands out at second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 9-3 Mustangs at the bottom of the 6th. And that's going to miss up and away. Ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes now as we play in the bottom of 6. Evergreen, Palisade waiting in the wings to get their game going. But first things first here, we'll take care of this game. Mustangs up by 6. And that pitch is going to be in there, called strike 3. For the third out, as Adrian Marquez stood there looking at it go by. So we will go to the top of the 7th now with the Mustangs up 9-3 on B106 and B106.com. 9-3 here for Fort Morgan as we get a few of the change-ups here as Bobby Tolson has come in to pitch. That will put Joe Holbeck behind the plate. That will bring, let's see if I can find him here. That will bring Isaac Linker to second. And McBride goes to right. Holbeck goes to catcher.
I think Garver's in left. I can't see who's in center field.
So Garver goes to left. Right field is Trey McBride. It's either Hamer or Ortega. If you thought it was number 6, it's still Ortega.
But if Hammer hit for Ortega, then it can't be Ortega. I'm not sure.
Hamer usually plays center. So we're going to put Hamer out in center. And up to the plate is Josh Valesco. That's in there for a strike. So Bobby Tolson gets ahead, no balls and 1 strike as we go to the top of the 7th. Mustangs looking for 3 outs, and that pitch is going to be skied out here to right field, and Trey McBride comes down with the first out of the 7th inning. So 1 up, 1 down, as that will bring up now Torrey Koshak. Koshak on the day is 0 for 2, a ground out, a fly out. And Bobby Tolson with the pitch. That's going to be fouled back to the screen. So if we get a second, we'll try to get you some numbers on Trevor Shirtliff. Bobby Tolson, I would guess, will be the starting pitcher in game 2. And the pitch, and that misses up for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gets back into the batter's box, and that pitch also misses for ball 2. As he's getting some encouragement from the outfield. And the pitch, and that is going to be way outside for ball 3. Trevor Shirtliff on the day had 97 total pitches, 56 strikes, 41 balls, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. Bobby Tolson now behind 3-1. And the delivery, and that is going to be up ball 4, excuse me. So Koshak walks, that brings us back to the top of the lineup with Donovan Atta. 2 for 3, a single and a double. And a fly out. So this would be a good time for a ground ball here for a double play. As Tolson checks his runner over at first, and now they're going to come back, and in safely is Koshak. So 1 down here, 2 outs is what the Mustangs need to advance to the 3 o'clock game against the winner of the next game, and that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike to the leadoff batter, Donovan Atta. Back in safely at first is Koshak. Bobby Tolson checks the runner, comes home, and that pitch is going to be up. Ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bobby Tolson did a nice job last week, and he was the winning pitcher, I believe, against Conifer. That game, and stealing is Koshak, and he will be in safely at second as the wind picks up here once again at Palisade. So now a runner in scoring position. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner out at second. Tolson with a delivery, and that ball is going to be fouled out of play. Bobby Tolson on the year as he gets ready to pitch. Bobby Tolson 5-1 with a 3 ERA. And that misses for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out as we play here in the top of the 7th. The Mustangs lead at 9-3. As Tolson gets his foot back on the rubber. Donovan Atta at the plate with a 2-2 count. Tolson looks back, and now the delivery, and that's going to be hit to Cage. It goes by Cage out to left field, and that will bring a run in. So that will now make it 9-4. Go ahead and give him a single on that. It was hard to tell. But now 9-4 with 1 out. Yes, Cage comes over and has a little talk with Tolson. That will bring up TJ Galobe 0 for 3. So this would be a good place to be 0 for 4 here for him. A strikeout, a ground out, and another strikeout. 1 looking and 1 swinging. Tolson with the pitch, and that is in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. So I have Tolson with 14 pitches here in the top of the 7th. And the delivery, and that is going to be outside and low for ball 1. Needs to try to conserve some pitches here if he's going to go deep into the 2nd game. But first things first here, we've got to get some outs, and that is going to be popped up as Holbeck chases it back, but it's going to be out of play behind the screen. It does get ahead in the count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the bases, they do have 1 on first. Donovan Atta. As Tolson looks over his shoulder, sees where he is at. Tolson holds the ball. Now the delivery, and that is going to be ball 2. They have 2 balls and 2 strikes, which is correct. They look to get a ground ball here and get the double play, and that is going to be popped up, and that is going to be well out of play as Holbeck lost it for a minute, but there was no way he was getting that ball. It was behind the screen and out of play. So Bobby Tolson now with 18 pitches. As the wind still blows out of the south-southwest. And the delivery, and that is going to be outside ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As we play here in the top 7. Bobby Tolson takes a minute to tie his shoe. Trinidad Benham, serving area bean growers since 1921. Give them a call at 970-522-3595 for all your dried bean needs. And the pitch is going to be popped up, and it's going to be McBride out here in right field as he called off Linker for out number 2. So down to 1 out now as the Mustangs will be moving on to the championship game this afternoon. Runner still at first now with 2 outs, and that brings up Jeremiah Ariano, excuse me. As Tolson with a pitch, it's going to be low and inside, ball 1. Tolson now with a total of 21 pitches. Checks his runner over at first, and the delivery, and that is going to be, looked like it was not too high, must have been outside. Ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. As the runner stays at first, and that is going to be ball 3. As he gets some encouragement from right fielder Trey McBride. Now Trevor Shirtliff's going to come in from his shortstop position. Has a little chat with Tolson, tells him just put it in there and we'll play ball behind you. So can't play if you walk them. So as they throw back, and now the ball is going to get by Marquez over here and over to second. Oh, it goes out of play, so he could only go to second. So a 3-ball count. As Donovan Addett goes on the and ball 4. That will put runners now at first and second. And that will bring up Josh Telez, I believe, and now Coach Langford going to go out and have a talk with the infield. But first and second with 2 outs. So as they try to get things worked out here, we'll do some more sponsors here. B&B Gutters, they do residential and commercial seamless gutters and have over 20 years of experience. Free estimates and fully insured. Proud supporters of Northeastern Colorado sports. As the wind picks up once again here at the field, blowing papers all around here. And that will bring up Telez, who is 1 for 3. Runners at first and second. That pitch is down for ball 1. Josh Telez, first baseman for the Eagles. 9-4 Fort Morgan. And that pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Bobby Tolson on the hill. As he checks the runner back at second. Now the pitch, and that is in there. Strike 2, down to their last strike. Yeah, the Eagles will be out of this game here if we can get another strike or a strike out here, a induced ground ball to one of the infielders. Bobby Tolson with the delivery, and that is going to be up for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs as we play in the top of 7. Tolson checks his runner out at second. And the delivery, and that is going to be flied out to center field. And that is it. The Mustangs win game 1, 9-4 on that last out there. I believe that was Hamer out at center field, but the Mustangs win at 9-4. We will be back with the post-game show in 2 minutes on B106 and B106.com. Fort Morgan Mustangs post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. Well, the Mustangs did this year what they couldn't do last year, and that's to win the first game of the day. As last year they were at home and fell to
Thomas Jefferson, I think.
Was it, or Lewis Palmer?
Oh, maybe it was.
I think it was Lewis Palmer. Anyway, this year they do get the 9-4 win over the Pueblo East Eagles a little bit of a revenge, maybe, as the Eagles put the Mustangs out 2 years ago in football. But anyway, the Mustangs win at 9-4. They have 9 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, and 8 left. The Eagles have 4 runs, 10 hits, 5 errors, and 6 left. Game time took 2 hours and 11 minutes. The Mustangs did score 3 runs in the bottom of the first, 6 runs in the bottom of the third, as the Mustangs were up 9-0 in the third inning. We'll see if we can go here with what the and Trevor Shirtliff did have a home run today. For a, I believe that was a 2-run home run, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And Adrian Marquez with a bases-clearing double, I believe, in that third inning to make it 9-0. Pueblo East comes back, puts 2 on the board in the top of the fourth, and the Mustangs do not score again. The Eagles put 1 on the board in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. Bobby Tolson comes in and closes things out here. Trevor Shirtliff did not come out for the 7th inning. He was not quite up against the pitch count. I believe he had like 97. He did have 97 pitches, 56 for strikes, 41 for balls, 5 strikeouts, 1 base on ball. Did give up 3 earned. Did give up 3 earned runs. Excuse me. Bobby Tolson comes in relief. He has 29 total pitches, which will work on him. I would guess, I don't know if that's 29 for the game or 29 for the day, if that will affect how many pitches he'll be able to do now in Game 2 this afternoon against the winner of this game coming up here in a little bit between Evergreen and Palisade. But Bobby Tolson with 29 total pitches, 14 strikes, 15 balls, gave up 1 run on no strikeouts and did have 2 walks. So the Mustang fielders behind him did their job as the Mustangs win this 9-4. Nice job by the Mustangs. They advanced now to the championship game of Region 3 here in Palisade. Fort Morgan Mustangs Player of the Game is brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado and now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. Stop by and take a test drive. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles, or browse our website, transwestchevroletbuick.com. So today we are going to go with Trevor Shirtliff as our player of the game with his winning pitcher this afternoon, plus the home run to help his own cause for the 9-4 win. As we said, he had 3 earned runs, 97 total pitches, 1 base on ball, and 5 strikeouts for Trevor Shirtliff. So we will await the outcome of game number 2 here, as that will be taking place, supposed to be taking place at approximately 3 o'clock. I'm not sure what the time set is for this game here. It'll probably be 25 or 30 minutes probably before this game starts. It'll probably be close to 1 o'clock, so that would probably push, unless it's a 10-run game or something in game 2 and comes up short. I would guess that game will probably be starting a little bit later than 3 o'clock, but we will see as how that all unfolds. So game 1 here, the sound engineer and producer of Fort Morgan Mustangs baseball has been Tristan Reyes. Always does a great job for us back at the studios. Appreciate everything he does for us. For Eric Nickel, this is Brian Nickel. Once again, the Mustangs win this first game 9-4. They now await the winner of Evergreen Palisade. You've been listening to Fort Morgan Mustangs baseball on B106 and B106.com.